made sense. We needed to understand what is happening within a well-run city in order to be able to position ourselves correctly to do things differently.
Hello, good day. Welcome. I'm in Ward 81. Ashley Potts, Ward Councillor. Welcome.
Hi, I must say welcome to you. It's good to have you here in our Dorby. It's lovely to be a part of what you do and to share the excitement that happens in Ward 81.
Ashley, I've got so much appreciation for the work that you're doing. You were very successful in the NPO space. You left all of that. You ventured into politics. Was it the right move?
That's a good question. Maybe, maybe not, but that was my thinking before I actually done that signing on the yellow dock. But when I got into it, absolutely the right move. It was difficult, challenging, very, very eye-opening, but it made sense. We needed to understand what is happening within a well-run city in order to be able to position ourselves correctly to do things differently.
And now that you're on the other side?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, okay, wake up. You used to fight with JP, you used to scull with Dad, because you didn't understand. And now I'm this side, and I really, it's my mission to see to it that all residents, all community, my family, when I'm engaging with them, I'm saying, if you only understood the way things gets done, you will, be able to get things, going the way it needs to go. And then the city works with you.
Yeah.
I was like the resident just now before you came. I said to him, unless there's a reference number, I can probably assure you that it will still remain undone for another couple of months.
Your journey into the Democratic Alliance?
It has been, yeah, I would never have been, firstly, considered a politician because I'm a community activist. But my journey into the DA was, I think, partially because of what I saw in men like Eddie Andrews, Alderman, Deputy Mayor right now, Dan Plato, Alton Jansen. There were a number of folk, Danny Christians, that I looked at, saw what they did, and I started to engage with them, and then discovered, I'm going to be able to do little changes from this side of the podium, or in the stands. And I've always maintained that it's only when you play in the game that you actually understand the tactics and the maneuvers and the systems and policies. So I decided, well, when I was asked, let's do this, because it will help my resolve to help people better.
Now you use the Structures Act, the Demarcation Act, MFMA, all of those things. You work with it.
That's right.
How did you impact your community since occupying this position?
The big shift was present. And I'm not saying previously that wasn't the case, but I believe, and a lot of residents sometimes would come and moan, he's not in his office. Apart from the meetings and the legislative responsibility of having to attend certain functions and duties, I prefer going to look for the problem before it comes to me. So I have the blessing of our labs in my ward, and they assisted me with interns that came to assist. So periodically from the start of it, we had 3 or 4 interns that would work here, and we would go and do C3 drives and go find broken pavements, broken street lights, leaking taps, and we will go and log them.
I often see you communicating. I think that is one of your strongest features. You communicate. People know exactly what's happening in your ward. And then I've also noticed this night markets, the food market.
So there's an NPO that I came to meet here in Mitchell's Plain. Mitchell's Plain Entrepreneurs Hub, and they run a community market every first Saturday of the month. And that is to help to grow the economic space and also keep the economy kind of thriving locally with people from the area. So I really am just a support to Lucretia and her team with the market, and I want to grow that even more because we need more of that.
Yeah, Mitchell's Plain is becoming more of a cosmopolitan area. Not, like a previous disadvantaged area. You've got how many malls? Wow. The roads are 3-4 lanes. What's happening in this place?
I think a lot of people has gone to a place where they started saying, I can do business for myself.
Yeah.
I can grow my own wealth as a family. And we want to encourage that. And so it's to help them to be able to do business better with the city and to get them into a space where their product, their services can be rendered locally. Yeah.
Your highlights and some of the lowlights?
I think the continuance of the DAD program has always been something that has been close to me. The decision affects destiny. The other is to have a ward clerk like Courtney Costins. I mean, she's the youngest that I know of in the city. but she has transformed so many valuable community settings through the simple process of the indigent grants, the rebates, all of these things making huge impact in the lives of community. And I'm not saying that they must, but it's so nice when they come back and they bring us a chocolate cake or something to say thank you.
That's
And I
nice.
see so many of it. And for me, it is, I am happy because I know that they are not having to lose funds because they don't have the money. And it's thanks to the mayor's program of the indigent grant.
Now, when you're alone, Ashley, how do you deal with the challenges? How do you deal with the lowlights?
So boundaries, yeah, and sanction. So I have the ability to change things within my context, and I also know, like the serenity, that I can't do everything. I'm not going to please everyone all the time. Last night I got a call at about 1:45, and my buzzer went off, and I thought, my goodness, no, I really am tired, and I normally switch it off at about 9 o'clock. But if you don't have set boundaries for yourself, you're going to lose your family, and you're going to lose your personal identity. So I continue to give attention to me and to my family whilst I serve the community.
A young Ashley Potts out there, confused, don't know where he's going. What would your words of advice be to him?
So don't be afraid to step into new arenas. Don't be afraid to take on new challenges. Every job comes with it an ability to learn. And if you are able to engage or lock onto somebody that already, there's a scripture, I'm a pastor, so there's a scripture in Hebrews 12 where it says, consider the outcome of your leaders and look at his way of life or her way of life and do likewise. So if you can learn from them, not to become mini-thems, but to actually grasp what they have, learn from them and excel in your own ability.
Ashley, it was a privilege to be with you, man. Let me go from strength to strength, power to power, and just keep on doing this amazing work that you're doing in your community.
Bless you, Joseph. Thank you so much for coming out to me. Just wait.
Please do that, man.